Yeah, pulling up after I call you, what you doing? Girl, you making me want you where you.
What's going on, guys? It's Mashula Salim, the Ghetto Prince King, and I'm coming at you with a different angle, a different point of view. Today we're gonna talk about discipline. So what I define discipline as is basically, I define discipline as the practice of training to behave in accordance with the morality, a principle, or an order consistently. Keyword, consistently. So when you have discipline, it means you consistently do something, or you consistently practice something over and over again. That's what consistently is. And it's very vital, not only for men, but for women as well, to have discipline. You know, I remember when I first started on my journey of being on the alkaline diet, or being, following Dr. Sebi's alkaline nutritional guide. And I used to think to myself, am I really going to be able to manage this? Am I really going to be able to continue to have this come on and continue to do this with all the temptations of chicken and, that shit smell good, beef, that shit tastes good, especially when it's tender, especially like how my mama make it, or just eating seafood, lobster, crab, shrimp, the good shit, And I'm not bashing anybody for this. I'm just saying, for my personal discipline, I had to take the time to realize that in order for me to be disciplined in something, I have to continuously do it over and over again, faithfully. Now, of course, with disciplines, sometimes you do take a pitfall. That's normal. But getting back up and continuing to go, that's what the discipline is. It's just like when you work out. Some guys don't miss days because they know where they're trying to go and they know how they're going to get there. But sometimes other guys, they might miss a day. Sometimes other guys might cheat. They might eat cake on one day out the month. Or they might eat some sweets. Just as maybe as a reward or whatever. But my first thing I had to conquer was that. I've always been a disciplined person. But when you really have discipline, and you can find in yourself being able to do something consistently, because we all have discipline. We all have discipline in some area of life. Some people have discipline with getting to work on time, or just going to work in general. Some people have discipline with smoking a cigarette every day. They wake up faithfully every morning, probably at the same damn time, or right before they do a task, work, or whatever, and smoke that same cigarette. Faithfully. Some people wake up, brush their teeth, wash their face. Faithfully. Which you should be doing. But that's discipline. The sun comes out every day, faithfully. That's discipline. One of the areas I think for men to be very disciplined in is to be disciplined in sexuality. Sexuality to a man, especially for the brothers who are practicing no fap or no nut, sexual discipline to a man, to not be able to release your seed, to abstain from porn, to abstain from jacking off, that takes a lot of mental discipline. Especially when you're a rabbit like me. Shit, who? What? Let a female, what? You see what I'm saying? I had a porn addiction that I overcame through discipline, through wanting to do better for myself. The reason why it's so important to have discipline, especially in the area of sexuality, is because with us, and you might have heard this already, but with us has been our sperm or our ejaculation, our orgasm process is how we give life. When a man ejaculates, inside of a woman, he's sending his DNA fluid through that vagina in order to fertilize an egg. Women don't have that. Women don't have that at all. Women's counterpart to bring in life in this world is their egg. Their orgasm is totally separate. Totally separate. So literally when we orgasm, that is our life force energy. So you will want to be disciplined in this area. I'm not sure if you guys have heard, but there have been accounts that I've read of, and I'm not sure how true it is, but I've read of guys, young men, dying from ejaculating too many times in a row. That scares me. That lets me know that my life force energy is very important. You ever wonder why a guy, as guys, you ever wonder why when we bust, it's such a sensation, and then it's like, and you wonder why, and you just like, damn, the women, they can just be right back up, get it right back in. It's our life force energy. When you get that discipline down, you can get any other discipline down. You can do it. Because sexuality is a part of our normal life. It's natural for us to mate. It's the reason why we have a reproductive organ, to mate. And when you get your sexual discipline down, whether you want to be abstinent or celibate, whatever you do, because sexual energy, especially between a heterosexual man and a heterosexual woman, is always lurking. It's always there. So that's for one. For two, this is a good one as well. For two, you want to get down in discipline as a man, especially in managing your emotions. I remember when I was a child, and this, I follow astrology a lot, so I think that knowing your astrological placement, signs and planets and houses play a big part in knowing who you are as a man. It's that easy. But managing your emotions is something that we aren't even taught. Like my mentor Ross Jeffrey says, that's something that we should be taught in school, how to manage, control, and govern our emotions. Learning how to govern your emotions is probably, if not as important as sexuality, right under it. Because when you can get your emotions down pat, and when I say emotions, it doesn't mean just sensitivity. It doesn't mean just, when they say quote unquote, are you emotional? Everybody's emotional. Everybody shows emotion. Whether you show happiness, anger, sadness, joy, everybody shows emotions. But do you know how to control them in situations where it may feel as though it's forcing? Where it may feel as though how when you feel that inside, that energy inside that correlates to an emotion, can you evaluate and control that and not let anyone just push your temper, not let anyone just get you out your character, especially women? Can you control that as a man? When you can control that, that's a powerful thing. It's a very powerful thing. Another thing is, I would say, number 3, assertiveness. As a man, I watch the Discovery Channel on YouTube, or whatever channel it is, and they show about the lions, and they show about the male lions, and even the female lions, and even sometimes the younger ones, going on a hunt, being assertive. When you hungry, when you feel that in your stomach, you're gonna be disciplined. You're gonna be disciplined to go get you some food. All of us do it. It don't matter how sleepy you are. It don't matter how tired you are. It don't matter how aggravated, how uncomfortable, how any of that. When you hungry, you gonna go up in there and get you some food, regardless. That stomach ain't gonna feed itself, and it definitely don't feed off of air. You gonna get up and go get you some food. But even with women, being assertive to me is not being aggressive. Being aggressive to me states that aggressiveness to me is like forcing. It's like, I gotta have it. It gotta go my way. Ugh. Assertiveness is just putting forth the effort. I take one brick, I put it on top of another. I'm not slamming it and trying to rush in. No, I'm taking my time. I'm making sure everything is aligned. I'm putting it on another one until it becomes a foundation. And when you get that foundation, that assertiveness will pay off. Because you put forth the effort to do what you need to do. When you can conquer being disciplined and being assertive consistently, you can conquer it consistently. It's so many things. All the job interviews that you want. All that financial freedom that you want. The abundance of women that please you in the way that you want to be pleased. That you want. The friends, the family ties. The quote unquote status. The abundance, the love. You'll have that when you be assertive. Because if you're not going to be assertive towards anything else, you have to be assertive towards the things that you really want. If you can get up and you can find a time to assert yourself, to go get some food, to go to the grocery store, you can assert yourself to talk to women. So when you become assertive, especially consistently, you will allow more power to come into your life. You will allow more discipline to take forth, even being assertive and being disciplined. You know you gotta get up and go to the gym, get up and go. Just like you may have to get up and go to work, get up and go. Grind, do what you gotta do. Because that's what you need. Number 4, discipline and spirituality. This is very, very vital. Everybody has a spirit, or some people might disagree. But when I say spirituality, whether it's your religion, whether it's just a practice, any type of spirituality, be disciplined in that, because that'll groom you into who you are. Even more, the reason why it's important to be disciplined in your spirituality is because it'll continue to give you a basis, a ground foundation on who you are, what you stand for, and what you wish to attract in your life. Me, I might meditate for 30-40 minutes every day, every 2 days, every 3 days. I might sit and think to myself. I might get in tune with music and not even write anything to it. I'm an artist, by the way. I might get around others and share ideas on how to think, even if I don't agree. One of the practices I'm learning is how to pray with using imagination, with using your mind, using images versus words, or using both. Get disciplined in spirituality. You'll be blessed. Definitely blessed. And practice what you stand for. Practice what you preach. So many people preach different things and they don't stand on it. As a man, especially as a man, you definitely want to stand on what you believe in at all times. Always allow yourself to come forth with your truth, because that's your truth. I got a quote from this app the other day. It said something so profound. It said, "Don't be afraid to change your views." Now, think about that. When you're dealing with spirituality, a lot of times you might come into contact with different information. You might come into contact with a different perspective of what you believe in. You might come into contact with a whole nother thing that you never even imagined. It's okay to upgrade or change or add to your arsenal. There are many people who practice many different spiritual practices. That only accumulates them more spiritual wealth. Because now instead of you accepting the spiritual dollar, you accept the spiritual yen, you accept the spiritual euro, you accept the spiritual pound. You accept the spiritual peso. You accept all these different types of spiritual currencies into your life. And now you can go anywhere, or you can use any of these spiritual currencies the way you choose to use them in any format and benefit from it. So get disciplined in your spirituality. Number 5. This is a big one. Get disciplined in your boundaries. Know your limit. This goes back to the rest of the 4. Because know how far to take something. As a man, you should know how far, or at least be working towards knowing how far you can go with doing something. What's the limit of where you won't no longer tolerate a behavior from someone? What's the limit to where you won't no longer tolerate or accept someone's BS? Or at all. Or someone's motive. Or action. Or any of those. Know where to draw that line. Practice on being disciplined and knowing how to surround yourself with things that define you and things that absolutely are not of you. You can put that all to the side. You have to enforce this and let others know, whether verbally or visually, that you're not going to take something from them that's beyond your boundary. Have your boundaries. I know for me, I don't drink. I probably never will drink again. If I do, it might be once every 3 months. Just for the sake of me having a drink day. No, I'm not supposed to, but just for the sake. I know I don't smoke marijuana. I don't smoke marijuana. I will not let someone persuade me into smoking marijuana. I don't feel good on marijuana. I don't feel good when I get high. I mean, I feel good, but I don't feel social. And me, I love to be social. I love being a social individual. I love being able to communicate and share ideas. When I smoke weed, I know that I'm gonna go off into the corner and get on my phone and play LI chess all night until I yawn myself to sleep. For real, for real. So have your boundaries, have your discipline in your boundaries. Too many times men allow people to pull them past their boundaries. They cross their own boundaries. When you cross your boundaries, it's like crossing yourself. When you cross your boundaries, it's like going against yourself. When you don't draw the line, people don't respect you. How you get people to respect you, forget liking, forget loving, how you get people to respect you and acknowledge you is by having your boundaries. Setting them boundaries. Knowing I'm not going to tolerate certain behavior. I'm not going to let and allow you to say just anything without me saying something. So be disciplined in your boundaries, guys. And number six, last but not least, be disciplined in your self-reflection. This accumulates all of this. Be able to reflect on yourself. When you can reflect on yourself and you can take the time to see where you need to improve in your life, where you need to get better, where you need to search yourself more, where you need to get more spiritual at, where you need to manage your emotions in a certain area of life more, where you need to back away from sexual tendencies or sexual urges that you need to control and have discipline in. This all comes through self-reflection. I changed that. I think self-reflection might be the number one because it accumulates, it adds, it holds all of this in one group. Self-reflection, dude, if you know that you're trying to quit doing something and you know that you're going to be bombarded with all types of temptation throughout your day, throughout your week, throughout your month, throughout your life, you have to be able to sit down with yourself and do some self-mirroring and ask yourself, what can I get better on to make this come true? What can I get better on to alleviate what I don't need in my life? What can I do? What will I do? I claim my happiness. Therefore, I assert myself into being happy. I claim my sexual abundance with women. Therefore, I assert myself into talking to women, while also being disciplined enough to know my sexual boundaries, while also being disciplined enough to manage how I feel at any given moment. Self-reflection is the reason why so many people come on here to YouTube to learn these different things, because self-reflection is what most of us are all doing. Either you're doing it consciously or you're doing it subconsciously, and your mind is telling you, fix this, fix this, fix that. You have to be able to you have to be willing to move forward in that self-reflection. Because I'm pretty sure everybody wants to get better. Everybody wants to see themselves as their top psyche. Everybody wants to see themselves as the best person that they can possibly be. And as a man, being able to self-reflect knowing that you can grow and get bigger and get bigger and get higher and get higher, it's a powerful thing. Very powerful thing. When it comes to learning lessons, when it comes to evaluating yourself, when it comes to solving equations, solving problems. What aspects of myself can I get better in that I can look upon and say, this is the issue, this is how I alleviate the issue, and this is how I continue to live in the solution. So self-reflection is powerful. So now I'm going to talk about, I already talked about why discipline is important. I'm going to talk about how to become and continue to be disciplined. All right, guys. So when you think about all 6 of these categories I just stated, these are your guidelines. Just a few, because there's multiple things you could be disciplined in. But just a few, which some of the things I think are very important. One of the things you can do to become and continue to be disciplined is to watch your environment. Watch your environment. Watch who you hang around. If you know you hang around John or Ray, and they don't mean you no good, you have to come to grips with yourself to know, hey, I have to mess with them on a level that they are messing. I have to mess with them on a level that they deal with. But when it comes to my growth, I have to exclude myself. I have to separate myself from that situation. I have to take myself out of that environment because this environment is not conducive to where I'm headed to. Forget what people think. Forget what people say. Forget how people view you. When it comes to your growth, when it comes to you getting better for yourself and getting more disciplined, in order to get more discipline and to feel like you're achieving something, you have to change your environment. What they say, we're a product of our environments. Why is that so true? Because we are. We're only a product of our environment. That doesn't mean that the product has to stay the same. That doesn't mean that the product can't travel to different environments. You determine your environment. You play part in that. If you haven't created one, you definitely want to be a part of one that is conducive to your lifestyle, to where you're going. Also, you want to make sure, this is probably more important than the physical environment, you want to make sure that you change your mental environment. Your mental environment is the best thing that you can control. To people who are at home with mom or who's stuck in the hood or whatever, this is definitely for you. Because your mental environment, your belief systems, is what really grounds you to becoming mentally free. And when you become mentally free, you're only a block away from becoming environmentally free. Because your mind is already there. If you can see yourself finishing that race, your legs, they gon' follow suit. So being able to take your mind and take your subconscious and fill it like an empty cup up with the things that are going to make you better, or the things you're working towards, or the things that you're trying to achieve, the knowledge, the information, That's what's going to determine how well you can become and stay disciplined. If you want to work out, go to the gym. Get with some buddies who like to work out. Don't get with the dudes that you know that's lazy, that want to eat Debbie cakes all day. That want to sit on the couch and smoke weed, or sit on the couch and watch goddamn, you know, anything, any movie. Get with the people who really want to improve themselves and are going in the same direction that you're going. Because you'll find companionship in that, and you'll find motivation. You'll be like, damn, how the fuck this dude get so big? Oh, how the heck? Dang, he like Diesel. He dieseled. Damn. Mr. Puffs. Looking like Larry the Lobster. Strong man, you feel me? Why? You want to be around that guy. When he's working out, you make conversation. You assert yourself. Hey, bro, you know, I'm just over here, you know, not on no homo shit, man. I'm just like, bro, how did you get so big? Like, I'm in here every day, you know, I'm trying to figure out, like, what am I doing wrong? What can I improve in? Oh, yeah, well, you know, all you got to do is da-da-da-da-da-da, and eat da-da-da-da-da, and make sure when you do your push-ups, you da-da-da-da-da. It's that simple. The most beautiful answers in life are simple answers. So, that's how you become and you stay disciplined. Definitely want to surround your physical environment with the things you need to grow, as well as your mental environment with the things that you need to grow, especially. And finally, the last thing I'm going to talk about, what mind states to have, what mindsets to contain to stay disciplined. The mind state that you want to have when staying disciplined is, first of all, uplifting mindsets. Mindsets such as, I can do this. I am going to do this. I claim this. I see it in front of me. I am this. I am an attractive man. I am good with asserting myself. And when I say I am, you may not be that right now, or up until this moment you weren't. But you want to put your flag on the turf. You want to put your flag in the soil, in the dirt. Period. Cause it's about the mindset. Everything is about the mindset. Sometimes we might not feel like that mindset is true because you have an internal warfare. But when you continuously build upon this foundation of your mindset, it becomes your reality. It becomes your reality. Especially when you assert yourself. You put your actions behind the mindset. You got a formula. If you got a mindset to go in there and make a sandwich, that's good. You know what you want. That's supposed to be the battery pack. That's supposed to be the batteries for you to get up and go in there and make you a sandwich. The mindset is the batteries. The tool which you using, that's the action. In order for me to start my clippers up, I gotta put them batteries in. It don't turn on without them batteries. I gotta plug it up. They don't turn on without the electricity. But when I get it turned on, that's when I take these steps. That's when I take the action. That's when I move forward towards it. That's when I move forward. But the mindset is what gives it life. The thought, the mindset, the beliefs. The mindset of knowing it doesn't matter if I get feedback or make a mistake. It's here to help me learn, to continue to get better. It's here to let me know that I can do more. That's what the beliefs are. That's what the mindsets are for being disciplined. And the more and more you reaffirm these beliefs and mind states, the more and more you'll find yourself really becoming this. The more and more. Like right now, I'm still getting used to looking at the camera. I keep wanting to look up there. I'm probably going to take that away, but I need to see that so I can see how I look. You know, it's just like, I say this all the time to friends. It's just like when you first had that bicycle and you had training wheels and you getting it. As soon as they took them training wheels off, what happened? Oh, you had to get your balance. As soon as you got your balance, all this is turning up. Next thing you know, you riding that bit with one hand. Next thing you know, you in the street with no hands. And you pedaling your goddamn heart out. Getting it. Going up hills, going down hills. Feeling free. Because you were disciplined enough to continue to go, and you had the mind state of, I want to have fun. That's another good mindset to have. Fun. I know I could do this. What's the fun in it? You might fuck around and scrape your knee a couple times. You might fall off. You might hit something. That didn't deter you from having fun. That probably made it even more fun. The more scars you got, the more quote unquote mistakes you made, it pulled you towards wanting to get better. It pulled you towards wanting to perfect it. Mindsets is everything. Not everything, excuse me. Mindsets is the battery pack. Mindsets is the life force that's going to help back your actions on why you do things. Once you accept your mindsets that push you towards where you need to go, you'll accept your actions. You'll accept all your actions. And that's all I got for you guys today, man. Once again, I'm Ashula Salim, the Ghetto Prince Akeem. And I'm going to be back with another video. Y'all comment, like, subscribe, share, and hit me up, man. Peace.